about normal and about what you've been doing in the cannabis community as we're covering the cultural aspect of it for Canada.
Well, with Normal Canada, we're working with the government now. We've had 4 people that were at the recent meetings in Ottawa. 4 of our representatives were there, speaking about, with grows and the dispensaries and all those avenues of what needs to be done, and that Ontario's way of doing things is just not going to work. They want to open too few stores, and right now there's over 100 dispensaries in Toronto alone, and they're talking about doing 120 stores in all of Ontario, and they don't want to do that till 2020. It's just not enough. There's just not enough of that for people. The demand's huge, and we need to have people that are properly educated, that can tell you about the different strains and the nuances. What works for me might not work for the next guy. A friend of mine gets very sleepy on AK-47, where I get very animated, active. I start to write better. I get motivated to clean the house and get some brownie points with the wife. But him, within 15 minutes, I'm tired, I'm going to bed, and he sleeps the whole night away. So we're all different, of course, and there's so many different strains and so much different ways of consuming it, right? We also want to go with the healthier ways. Your concentrates, at least you're not consuming plant materials. You're consuming the concentrate, the actual medicine. And when you're smoking a joint of plant material, you are going to get some toxins and tars and stuff like that. There's going to be more of it. So we're looking towards that with, normalizing being healthier, right? Much healthier, much safer. And when you speak to our kids and our children, we need to tell them the truth. We need to be factual. Because once they find out we're lying, we lose them. We lose them right away. They're not going to listen to you. We need to look at the science and evidence. It's there. And saying it's not there, like our medical community does, it is not true at all. We know that. As adults, people in the industry know that. People that are non-consumers know that. They know it's there. And we need to start looking at that properly and helping people with it. Whether it's PTSD or pain or whatever it is, it can help a lot of different things and a lot of different people. It's not a cure-all. It's not for everybody. But I tell you, there's a huge, huge amount of people out there that it can help. And it helps them save lives. It gets people off opiates. We have the opiate issue here where people are dying. We can use cannabis to get them off of the opiates. We've been doing studies in that with alcohol, and people are exiting alcohol addictions. You don't have such a harsh withdrawal with it. And Normal's, working with the government and different groups in that to get that information out there, to use the science and the evidence, to allow people to grow cannabis freely, and to use the dispensary model, not to use the Ontario model. And like I said, we want people that are well-trained, that know what they're talking about and can help others, especially with a lot of new people coming into the flow of it to try cannabis. We don't want to make them eat an edible and feel sick, because if you've ever ate edibles and ate too much, it's an unpleasant feeling. It's not going to kill you, but you're going to have a good sleep after you finally fall asleep from it. So, to let people know probably the biggest side effects of cannabis: happy, hungry, sleepy. And it's not like it's going to kill us, it's going to make us ill, but now we're going to survive, right? So we need to tell people to titrate it, to take so much when you start, just don't take too much, and see how it feels. Wait a couple of hours at least. Some strains can be a little bit longer coming on, and they might not come on full strength till a couple of hours in. And know that it affects you. Okay, I'm not getting enough out of it. Then, next time take a little bit more, and just come up slowly.
Until you find your dosage.
Exactly. Microdosing is really getting to be a big thing these days, and it should be. It's especially with concentrates and that. They're a lot stronger, and they do affect people. And the impaired driving issue is another one we're really strong on. Is where you get a medical person, say myself, I've been consuming for over 45 years. If I smoke a joint, it's like a person that's a non-consumer taking a low-dose aspirin. It's not going to impair them, and I'm not impaired. I'm not saying that I can't become impaired later on, say I'm dabbing and I'm taking concentrates. So there is that possibility. But as a responsible adult, I know that, okay, I'm impaired, I'm not going to drive. And it's easier with the cannabis because it's so much different than alcohol, where alcohol reduces your inhibitions. It makes you feel like I'm superhuman and I can drive and I can do anything. And a lot of people get injured, right, because they take big risks with alcohol. With cannabis, it's much more mellowing, much more relaxing, and it allows you to think straight, where alcohol, you can black out and not even realize what you're doing. Cannabis, when you black out, you go to sleep. That's how you black out. It just doesn't happen.
Thank you for